I don't know if it's just me, but every time I open up Facebook or social media lately, another classmate or peer of the same era have passed away. And I'm not talking about, people in their 80s or, you know, some somebody that, has lived out their life. I'm talking about the person you sat next to in English class. The one you played sports with on the ball field, the one that you would see and hang out with in the hallways at school. For me, that's the class of 1992 Ukiah High. Lately, it feels like we have lost an incredibly large and heartbreaking amount of classmates. And every single time I see another name, I think to myself, we're only in our 50s. When did this, become normal? And is this just happening in my small town, in my area, or is it happening everywhere? Growing up in a small town, everyone knows everyone. We ran the streets, spent our summers outdoors and hanging out with the same crowd from elementary school all the way through high school for most of us. So when we lose someone from the class of 92 or of one of our peers, it's not just a statistic on some screen. It's a piece of our own childhood, a piece of our history that's now gone. And when you start seeing it happening over and over, you can't help but look in the mirror and think, are we running out of time? If you if you have had this exact same kind of feeling, this horrible sinking feeling that just kind of gets you down in your stomach, and you go and you look at your own high school class, whether you graduated in 92 or 88 or 95 or whatever, and you're not imagining these losses. It is happening, and you're not the only one that's been noticing. I actually started looking into some of the data because I kind of wanted to know if it was just, my graduating class dealing with some, really bad luck, or if there was some sort of pattern. But what I found out was quite incredibly alarming health crisis that is basically targeting our generation really hard right now. So let's look at what actually could be happening with our generation. For a century, every single generation of Americans lived longer than the one before them. Our parents are outliving our grandparents, so we just assume we would outlive our parents. But the data shows this terrifying twist. For those of us born in the late 60s, early through the 70s, pretty much, midlife mortality rates are actually on the rise, according to public health researchers. They're calling this a historic reversal of decades of progress. So, nationwide, about 12% of Gen Xers have already passed away. 12%, that seems high. So when you think about that, that's more than 1 in 10 of the kids that we went to high school with that are now gone before ever even reaching retirement. So what's killing us? In the Lancet, I believe it's called, recently looked at the number of uh, you know, it, all the numbers, I guess you would say, and that Gen X and the millennials face a significantly higher risk of developing 17 different types of cancer, especially color, colorectal, I can't say that word, sorry, pancreatic, and kidney cancer. Compared to baby boomers at our exact same age, we are accumulating these diseases and dying off faster. So I've had this hit right next to home. My very, very close friend died in 2012 from pancreatic cancer. And all I can say about that disease is the most cruel and inhumane thing you could ever have happen to you. And I would not wish that on my worst enemy ever. But like I was saying, on top of all that, the progress we made as a country against heart disease has completely stalled out for our generation. Heart attacks and strokes are creeping back up on people in their late 40s and 50s. I know someone who had a heart attack before they were even 40. We're these guinea pig generation for the rise of all bad stuff, all the ultra processed foods, the high fructose corn syrup, the food dyes, all the other chemicals that they've put in since the late 70s and 80s. And our bodies are paying the price for it all now. But it's not just the physical illness, it's the massive rise in what sociologists call death of despair. So, accidental overdoses, alcohol related liver diseases, and unfortunately, the taking of our own life. We put our heads down, we carry the weight of our aging parents, we worry about our kids, we navigate a completely broken and hostile job market. We try and survive this inflation and we carry it all on our shoulders. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, finally, someone is actually talking about this, then welcome to my channel. This wasn't the plan at 50. My name is Christy, and on this channel, we do not sugarcoat the version of aging. We talk about the real, raw truth of navigating our life at 50 or beyond, from career pivoting and crazy job markets to health scares and everything else they never warned us about. If you're excuse me, if you want honest conversations with no BS, take a second and hit the subscribe button down below and join our little community here. So think about how we were raised. We were the ultimate walk it off generation. If you got hurt, our parents told us to rub some dirt on it. If we were sick, we took a spoonful of cherry flavored cough syrup and went back outside to play. We didn't complain and we didn't run to the doctor every little ache and pain or cough and snivel that we had. The DIY hyper independent individuals that we are, made from all those resilient, lifestyle as a kid, but it's actively hurting us as adults. We're carrying that same I can handle it mindset into our 50s, and we're ignoring all the weird chest pains or the over fatigue, and we skip the colonoscopy because we're too busy working and managing the household and caring for everyone else. We've been trained to put ourselves last, and it's going to catch up if it hasn't been catching up already. And let's be real about the system we are dealing with. Just last week, I, not following my own advice, had to post a video about ending up in the ER with no insurance, trying to navigate broken healthcare system as a self-pay patient. When you're in your 50s, trying to build something on your own and navigating job transitions, a medical scare is not what you want to have on your plate. Financially, it could be a death sentence, especially when you don't have insurance. So, what do? Because we're stubborn. I know your parents told you that too. Stubborn. We delay going to the doctor. We tell ourselves, I'll just sleep it off. I can't afford it right now. I'll go next month. But neglecting ourselves is costing us our classmates, our friends, our lives. We need to be here for our kids still. We can't forget about them, even though life is so challenging for us. But we have to keep going and keep fighting to make it better for them. So if you are watching this right now, I want to challenge you to two things today. First, if you've been putting off a doctor's appointment or a physical screening of some sort because you're too busy, or you just don't feel like it's necessary, or whatever excuse you have, do it for your family. Make the call today. Do it for your children. Do it for your parents who are going to outlive you if you don't. And I hate to say it that way, but it's true. So second thing, reach out to someone you went to school with, an old classmate you've been thinking about, send them a text, send them a Facebook message, send them a, something just to let them know that, hey, I'm still around, you're still around. Remind each other of the old times, the fun times, the simple times. You know, those days and friendships of high school really do matter, especially when we do get older. It seems like you venture out, but then eventually you venture back together into that community you started creating back in kindergarten. You know, we got to keep checking on each other because there might not be anybody out there checking. So, yeah, guys, if you're seeing this in your own life, do you open up in your social media with friends and stuff about it? Or, you know, I mean, it can just be a simple thing, you know, just to get the ball rolling, to get a community of people, you know, together talking about, you know, old times, good times, things that make you feel good. Do you go to your class reunions? I did not until just the last one, which was the first postponed a couple of years because of COVID. I have to say, it was very eye opening, nothing like I had expected. And I genuinely enjoyed myself and reconnected with people that I hadn't seen in 30 plus years. So it was really nice. Anyway, you guys, if you do enjoy a community and you're also interested in starting your own YouTube channel and looking for a group of like minded individuals to help you out, I recommend SKOOL, SKOOL, Common Sense Methods, where I go for coaching with Kevin and Michelle. Yeah, they are great coaches for YouTube. I think if you're interested, you will gain a lot of worthy information from them. I will put their link down below in the description box. So, I guess what are your thoughts? You know, survived a lot out here in this world. You know, I don't ever remember wearing a helmet when I was on a bike as a kid. Do you? Drinking water out of the garden hose. Nowadays, you get some weird E. coli or something. God only knows. And, you know, staying out till the street lights come on. Now, if you stay out till dark, you might get mugged. Anyway, on a lighter note, we're not invincible though. Just remember. So please stop putting your health back on the back burner. Call the doctor, make the appointment, and check on your friends because friendships are important and we all need them, whether we think we do or not. All right, you guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.